Welcome back to my channel, Classic Volkswagen Lovers. This is Junior with Classic BW Bucks. Today I want to send a big shout out to Jared from Groovy Plants Ranch in Marengo, Ohio. Interesting detail about our trip yesterday to that ranch was that I finally got to meet Jared, who's actually the owner of the Volkswagen van that it's sitting in his ranch, where he's got all these beautiful plants and succulents. Interesting story about the van. He was telling me that he purchased this van from a lady that had it sitting in her yard and wanted to get rid of it. The story behind it, it belonged to her husband, and he passed away and she didn't know what to do with it, so she sold it. So Jared bought this van for $1,000. What I like about it is the way that he decor it. He used it, as a matter of fact, as a decor piece or for the business he worked, I guess. Don't quote me because I'm not quite sure whether he's the owner or not. I do know that he's one of the planters right there. Every time I went there before, I asked about the van, and nobody was able to give me all of the details behind the van until yesterday when I met Jared. He calls it the Vantelope, and the interesting thing about it is that on the top of the van, he's got this big, old, beautiful arrangements of flowers and plants that it's right there by the windshield. Also, sticking out from the side of the doors, there's horns sticking out. So that's why he calls it the Vantelope. It's kind of like a mythical creature. But anyway, enough of that. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about something I am entertaining doing right now. Is I got this Krylon Colormaxx paint and primer, rattle can of spray, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray paint my armrest for my Volkswagen Super Beetle. So the spray has some instructions about making sure that there's no shine over the surface that you're attempting to spray paint. It says that it's for multiple applications to include fabrics and vinyl. So I'm just basically following the guidance on how to apply this product to make sure that I have a successful end result. So this is one I already prepped, and basically what I did, I took some 1000 grit sandpaper that you can actually use with water to do water sanding, but instead of just doing water sanding, I went over it very light and scuff up some of the shine off of it. And I'm not applying pressure to it or nothing like that. Very light sanding, trying to get all of that sheen away, so that when I apply my paint and primer base paint, it sticks to it well. I'm going to apply a very light cover to the surface. I'm going to wait 20 minutes, and then I'm going to apply a second coat. And after it's done, I'll show you the end result. Alright, so after you light sand with a 1000 grit and you want to do a dry sand, you want to take a wet rag and clean the dust off of it, and make sure there's no cross-contamination for your next step, which is your spray application. What we want to make sure is that we get any type of residues from the sanding off, And one thing that I will mention is make sure as you're doing this that once you're done cleaning with your rack, you don't put your hands back on it, all right? So make sure that you clean it. Remember, your hands, they have natural oils that they stick to surfaces, so make sure you don't apply your hands or touch it with your hands again once you have used a wet rag to clean it. After I do that, I'm gonna let it sit for maybe about 10 or 15 minutes to dry at room temperature. So I'm gonna let it be so that it will actually look just like so. And this is basically what it should look like once you are done sanding it. You can see that I dull the sheen on this here, okay? And then I'm gonna make sure that I check this can for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'll just spray paint it. So hi there again. So it's the day after I painted the armrest with the Krylon rattle can of spray for multiple applications to include fabrics and vinyls. And today I want to share with you the result of the product. Also, I have some other pieces that I also have to spray paint to give you a comparison side by side of what it looks like before and after. So here is the armrest spray painted with the Krylon spray paint. And this is what I was going for. I did not want it like a really glossy shine look into it because the fabric, the vinyl fabric I use is not glossy like other fabrics. So I'm pretty happy with that result. I think that the pairing of these two colors, they go along. This is what black looked like before, so these I will spray paint in that same color to actually match the whole set I'm going for. And again, just to give you a recap on the spray paint, it's made by Krylon, it's paint and primer, and instructions are in the back. So in the back, something you will see different from what I did is the applications of the different coats. You can do them in a 1 minute intervals. I did longer than 1 minute intervals, but I made sure that when I applied the first coat, it was dry enough, and it's because here in Ohio the weather is still not warm enough. So, and we had rain, we had storms and things like that yesterday, so I wanted to make sure that the application of the first coat was dry, but not so dry that the second coat would not blend in or stick with the first coat. So you got to use your judgment. You know, the can will offer you detailed instruction on how to apply it. You know, 50 to 90 with a humidity of 85%. And if you read, it says shake well for 1 minute and then wait 1 minute in between coats. That's ideal for the setting of 50 Fahrenheit to 90 Fahrenheit. Now, again, you got to use your own judgment. I think I did more than 1 minute, I'm pretty sure. I said I was going to do 20 minutes in intervals in between the first and the second coat, but I did less than that because it dried off a little bit faster, but still I needed more than 1 minute, so just keep that in mind. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint these in brown, and then once all of that together is all coated, then I will put the panels together and show you what they look like installed. Okay, fellas, we're back, and there is Sonny the Super Beetle, and here I'm going to show you again the other parts that are part of the interior panel of the car, and that I spray painted with the Krylon spray paint. You can see that it looks very nice, I think. It's an option if you're trying to save some money, and you don't want to go and buy aftermarket brown parts. So this is about, I would say, an hour and 30 minutes after I spray painted them, and I think that they look very good. Again, you can see that the finish on the piece, I think it's pretty neat. I mean, it's like very nice. That's without the extra lighting. You can see a better contrast in color right there, maybe. So these are the two pieces that go where you have the door pull to open the door, and I think they look very nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Just trying to do something useful out of the original parts. And the next thing I'm going to do, it's paint the dash foam to match these pieces. So stay put. If you are enjoying the contents of these videos and you like the contents and you're probably getting ideas off of them, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with somebody. And don't forget to ring that bell so that every time I upload another video for Sunny the Super Beetle full restoration, you get a notification. Until then, this is Junior with Classic BW Bugs. Junior out.